Welcome. My name is Dennis Deloach, and I'm your host for the Uncle Jim Effect podcast. Welcome. We are grateful you're taking the time out of your busy life to schedule it with us and to listen, and we look to grow together. This is episode number 53. We're excited. The title is Eight Benefits of Empathy in Leadership or as a Leader. So we're going to talk about that in detail. Uh, Please subscribe below and like the channel if you can. And we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Music. We're growing tremendously. We're almost at 60,000 subscribers. And just couldn't be happier. And I hope that this message is resonating and bringing value to you and your family and friends. Please share it with everybody. We're looking to grow and to keep this tsunami hope moving forward. As we talk about our tsunami of hope, that's exactly what it is. It starts small and slow. It's an event that triggers that, and it grows and grows and grows. And so that's what we're looking for this podcast to do as we help each other realize our God-given potential. And we're excited to be able to do those kind of things together. So let's dive in. 8 benefits of empathy in leadership. So what in the world does empathy mean? To be empathetic or to have empathy? And I want to go right to good old Webster and talk about what he says. It says empathy is the action of understanding, being aware of, being sensitive to, and vicariously experiencing the feelings, thoughts, and experience of another. Wow, that's a lot of big words. The action of understanding, being aware of, being sensitive to, and vicariously experiencing the feelings, thoughts, and experience of another. This is such a timely podcast because this characteristic of empathy, in my opinion, is one of the greatest missing characteristics that we as humans have for each other today. If we each, and I include myself, if we were all more empathetic or looked at not so much what I want to say and what I think and what I believe and what I want and what looks good for me, and those are values and core values and principles we absolutely need to stand for and to believe in. But before we profess those and force them on others, our ability to have empathy or the ability to understand, be aware of, be sensitive to, and vicariously experience the feelings, thoughts, and experiences of the person we're talking to. If we could do that more, we would have no wars. We would have 99% less disagreements. We would not have fights and animosity and hatred. The jealousies, all of that would disappear or at least be tremendously minimized. And so this is such a critically important concept and characteristic that we all need to learn, me included the most. But let's talk about that today. Here's a quote from Vivek Murthy, and it says, empathy is choosing to see ourselves in another despite our differences. And we're going to talk about what that means. He goes on, it's recognizing that the same humanity, the same desire for meaning, fulfillment, and security exist in each of us, even if it's expressed uniquely. So I've thought that, I consider myself a conservative Republican. What that means, take it for what it's worth, but I consider myself that. But I truly believe the older I get that as we look at someone who would identify as a liberal Democrat, and I'm not talking about the far fringe, but a typical John F. Kennedy type liberal Democrat. If we were to take a look at someone like that and me and talk, I bet 80% of what we want is the exact same. And it goes along these lines of recognizing that the same humanity, the same desire for meaning, fulfillment, and security exist in both of us. Both of us would want a free country to do what we want to do, the freedom to worship as we feel, the safety of our family, and the ability to have a job and to have a government be as intrusive as little as possible. the ability for us to have opportunities to work based on our skill set and work ethic, not the color of our skin or our religious beliefs. We all agree on that. Yet we argue that 5, 10, 15% difference, which just doesn't make sense. I think if we could have the empathy to sit and first and foremost talk about what we agree on and build that base, then I'm not saying back off of your principles, morals, or values. Then once we've agreed, hey, we agree on this 60, 80, 90%. Now let's discuss, because you and I are 90% the same. Let's discuss that other 10% and listen to understand, not to be understood. And so we're going to talk a lot about that. And again, 8 different benefits that exist out there on how empathy can help me become a better leader, person, man, husband, father, teammate, friend, CEO, whatever that might be. Mehmet Oz, the physician who has TV shows, and I believe ran for Senate in Pennsylvania, says the opposite of anger is not calmness, it's empathy. And so when we see all this anger in the world, the opposite of that, or the antidote to anger, is empathy. I think people just want to be heard. And so I just think this is such a timely topic, and one that we think we all know what being empathetic means, but let's really deep dive. And again, if something whispers to you like you need to work on this part in your life to be more empathetic with a coworker, your team, your family, friends, spouse, children, neighbor, whatever that is, I think if we can do that and implement a more empathetic mindset or characteristic, I think we're going to be so much farther ahead in every aspect of life. So let's jump in to these 8 benefits of empathy and leadership. One is you get improved communication. One, you improve communication tremendously as you listen more and speak less. I've talked in the past about how I was not a good listener. In fact, bordering on horrible, I think, for most of my life. I'm now currently, as much work as I've done, I'm only in the average to below average listener, though I try hard and I really focus intently on that daily. I'm a lot better than I was, but I've got so much room to grow there. So as a communicator, most of communication is listening. Listen to understand. That's empathy. So as I listen to someone, again, that example of conservative, Republican, liberal, Democrat, my first thought would be, as this liberal Democrat speak, in my mind, I'm listening to be understood because I'm trying to say, no, I'm going to force onto you what I think. But if I can listen and again, going to why he believes this based on his experience, based on his unique understanding, his growing up, his childhood, his parents, all of that. And if I listen to understand, then I can say, wow, I don't agree with what you're saying, but I understand why you do. And I understand why that's so important to you because these experiences shaped you. And wow, if I was in those same situations, I probably might believe like you do. And so I understand that. And I accept that. And once I do that, I think that's the antithesis or opposite of anger. They're not going to be angry. But if he says, I believe in black, and I say, no, it's all white, instantly there's no communication because he's angry and I'm angry. But listening to understand absolutely opens up communication and improves it tremendously. The second step in the 8 benefits of empathy and leadership is increased engagement by those you're communicating with, whether it's family, spouse, friends, team members at work, anything and everything, anybody that we work with in a team format or relationship or business or neighborhood community. As we're empathetic, we have tremendously improved engagement by those people. The more we're empathetic and can learn and lean on listening and listening to understand, the more buy-in we're going to have from those people. So as a leader, whether it's in your family, a relationship, business, if you want to be a more effective leader, listen with empathy and you will get that. Number 3, we're going to have a lot better problem solving. When guards go down and we listen to understand and people feel comfortable, you get to that second and third and fourth level of relationships. And now that they're not defending themselves and are so defensive just on level one, if you don't even let them speak that and we're fist fighting at level one, we're never going to get to level two, three, or four. And they might have some tremendous ideas and benefits and solutions to these problems you've been going on, but you don't even get to that level. So a lot better problem solving if you employ empathy when it comes to listening and being a leader. It's easy to say, I'm the boss, I'm the CEO, it's my way or the highway. The more we can listen and learn and find common ground, the better we're going to be, the more committed people we're going to have, and the better solutions we're going to have to the issues it faces. Number 4, you're going to have a much better team unit and camaraderie. So whatever we're talking about, family, friends, relationship, business, sports, anything, anytime you're empathetic and listen, the team culture, everything improves dramatically. That's totally understood, and it's not a simple fix. This is not a one-time thing. You inject trust into these type of situations. When we do that, trust is built over time. When you've proven to me over and over and over that this is what you're committed to, I let my guard down and I've now become vulnerable. We get to serious depths of understanding between each other, and that's when things explode. Number 5, we have greater adaptability. When you and I understand each other on that level, we can adapt to anything that pops up. Instead of me saying, "Oh, that's because you're a label, whether it's a liberal Democrat or a conservative Republican. That's why there's an issue. I'm not even going to listen to you." We understand. Look, I understand we're different as can be, but the love and trust we have for each other, the level of belief I have in you and your ability, even though we're a little different, that level will do nothing but tremendously increase our ability to adapt to any situation, whether it's in a relationship, business, life, anything will be so much better if we employ empathy. Enhanced reputation is the next one. That's number 6. And by reputation, I mean your ability or reputation as a leader, as a CEO, as a father, mother, friend, neighbor, coworker, any level of anything. Someone who employs empathy is looked up to immediately, and the trust factor skyrockets. Anytime you can have a trust factor skyrocket in any relationship or interaction, the commitment from that person to you when they know they can trust you and they know you're empathetic and it will at least listen, and the respect level will go sky high. They might not agree with you, but they will respect you. And when there's respect and trust, the floodgates open to love, partnership, working together, all of those things skyrocket. Number 7 in the 8 benefits of having empathy and leadership is what we just talked about. It's as we enhance our reputation, we then increase relationships and the ability to be successful in any area of life when you're working with another person, whether it's on a relationship level, family, neighborhood, business, team, coaching, anything and anything where two humans are interacting, the ability to create a tremendously strong relationship, which everything is based on in life, is increased, in my opinion, more through empathetic leadership and empathetic listening than any other characteristic we can have. And so that is a tremendous benefit. And then finally, number 8 on the 8 benefits of empathy and leadership is if you want to improve results in any area of your life, again, from personal, family, health, finances, business, CEO, if you want to increase the results or the bottom line of what it is you are tracking, introduce empathetic leadership and listening and see if those results don't skyrocket. If we are working with teams of people and we're empathetic to them, getting their input, evaluating and validating their stance and beliefs, listening to them to understand, not for them to understand what I have to say. The buck stops with us as leaders and business CEOs and parents. That doesn't mean we don't listen. And so, as empathetic listeners, we grab all of the data we can, we validate all these people, and then we make our decision based on that. And as long as we're just saying that was a stupid idea, we're doing it my way anyway, which none of us would do, I hope. But as long as we're taking input and we realize that that's what we need to do, life gets better. Uh, I hope you've seen a glimpse into how important empathy, especially empathetic listening and leadership skills in any level are. And again, these are 8 benefits of having empathetic leadership. And they are, again, improved communication, number 1. Number 2, increased team member engagement. Number 3, better problem solving. We get to the solutions of the issues we have. Number 4, enhanced teamwork and unity. Teams work together. Number 5, greater adaptability to change that comes along the way, the more trust we have through empathetic leadership. Number 6, our reputation as leaders become greater. And when people know that you're a great leader, you're a magnet and you draw people to you. People want to be led, and they want to be led by dynamic, empathetic people because they know they will be valued and they can trust that you will not take advantage of them. Number 7, relationships will be tremendously strengthened when you're an empathetic leader. And then finally, if you're interested in improving results of any kind in any area of life, empathetic leadership and listening skills will give you the results you did not believe possible. If you're interested in a 10x life, which we all are, being an empathetic leader through empathetic listening skills and the building up of people through empathy and listening to understand is one of the most vital, if not the most vital, characteristic or trait or skill set we can develop. Thank you so much for your time. Please subscribe below and tell your family and friends and share it with them. Again, we're trying to help everybody recognize and realize that we all have God-given potential. Sometimes we don't know what that is, but once we find it, and we will find it, we need to magnify that and then absolutely magnify that to better our lives and the lives of our family, friends, neighbors, and those in our community. As we do this, we will absolutely create a tsunami of hope, and that will happen through being an empathetic leader. Hope is nothing but empathy in all directions. I'm so grateful for you, and hope that this has helped you in some form or fashion, and look forward to seeing you soon. Take care and God bless.